Hey y'all, this is Amanda and welcome back to my Texas Zone 8A garden, and today we're going to be having some fun. We're going to be harvesting a bunch of jalapenos, mini bell peppers. We're also going to be planting some iris rhizomes, and we're going to be trimming back and doing a few chores in a few other areas. Okay, so over here we have a whole bunch of mini bell peppers. You can see they've started turning orange. We have a whole bunch of jalapenos. These are green and reds. Just a lot going on. We do have a bunch of the hot and heavy faraway peppers from Proven Winners. All of this we're going to be harvesting today, and we're going to be cutting all of these back because we are done with these pots for the season. And at the end of the season, these are all terracotta pots, so they will be put towards the back of the porch where they can't get any moisture in them, and that'll keep them from the water in there freezing, expanding, and breaking the pot. So very key in my area. I don't know if that is key in your area, but very important to put your terracotta pots away. But anyway, let's go ahead and get these cut back and get these started. I think I'm just going to start by cutting the plant all the way at the base, and then we'll sit down and start harvesting everything. Okay, I've got my basket here, and now I'm thinking it looks pretty dumb with this itty bitty basket to harvest all this, but let's go ahead and get started. So you're probably wondering, why did I just cut the whole plant back? It's just, we're past the time of this making any more flowers. It hasn't been, these plants haven't been producing flowers for about 10 days, almost 2 weeks now. And so we're just past that time. And so these these are all ripe. They all look really good. And I just thought it'd be easier just to go ahead and cut them, sit down, and take some time while harvesting them. Talk a little bit about what I liked, what I didn't like about them. I grew these mini bell peppers this year. They were very easy to grow. There are a couple of different times where they got attacked by spider mites or large caterpillars, things like that, and they bounced back really well. They were very fun to grow in that they're just fun to look at. I mean, look at these sweet little mini bell peppers, totally adorable. They're easy to just toss on salads. I think these are going to be really great for chili, that kind of stuff during the winter. I wouldn't say there's a lot of flavor to them. They're pretty mild, but that would probably make a lot of people happy to have, pretty mild as well. So, but yeah, I really enjoyed them. I think they look like little jingle bells or little pumpkins at this point, in this point of the season. You can harvest them earlier on when they're green. I just let mine go to town. And I just picked them up off as needed when I wanted to toss them in a salad or something like that. My husband loves bell peppers, and so this was very fun for him. He enjoyed these, and he enjoyed just being able to just walk outside, grab what he wanted at any point in time. I mean, look at this. Super fun. So, but let's get the rest of these harvested. Okay, these look amazing. Very, very happy with them. Beautiful colors. I mean, I've got a lot of green on top. Let me pull some of these orange. Look at these bright orange. And they're so tiny and petite and sweet. I think they're worth a try if you're interested in growing bell peppers. I thought they were just easy. The plants weren't so massive that took over a ton of space. I got a lot from each of the plants because I, harvested these multiple times throughout the season. So super fun. But let's go on to the hot and heavy faraway peppers from Proven Winners. Okay, I'm going to work with this bin. I think this will be really pretty. So there's one type. So the hot and heavy peppers, this is one plant right here, and I would say there's 30 peppers on it potentially. These have a little bit of kick to them. They're not too intense. I plan on, sorry, I got distracted. I plan on freezing some of these in a little bit of olive oil and saving them for chilies throughout the season. I do a lot of chili when winter comes, mainly because it's easy and I have a family of 5 and I can just do one pot of chili, like a massive pot, and we can have them for an entire week and I don't have to cook a million times. So, love it. That's perfect for me. Some of these are a little far gone, but maybe I can allow them to just continue to dry, which would be kind of cool too. Maybe I'll experiment with that. I'll try to remember to show you guys some of the stuff that I do. You know, I like to cook and I do like to save some of my stuff, but I don't have tons of experience doing that. So it's not often that I really share because it's all experimental for me. But I'll show you what I'm doing and I'll let you know how it's going and you can decide if you want to try it or not. I would say there's lots of people who have more experience than I do, preserving their food that they've grown. So there's tons of people that you can check out. But if you want to see a novice, go for it. If you're a novice, you want to see it, by all means. Okay, those look great. And then last, I've got early jalapeno peppers over here. And they didn't really produce all that much in earlier spring because our temperatures got real hot real quick. It's so weird. It was cold, 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 and then hot. There's no in-between time, which would have been the growing season for a lot of these. But, I just kept them alive throughout the hot, hot summer. I trimmed them back some. They grew more. And they've done well. They did have an attack of spider mites, and they recovered beautifully from those. These are cute little jalapenos. Some of them have been on long enough to turn red. But let's harvest all of these. I would definitely grow these again. They're kind of smaller jalapenos. So I don't think there's something that you would utilize for something like stuffing, like if you're going to stuff a jalapeno. But if you want them for garnishes on tacos, something fun like that, they'd be great for that. If you want to chop them up for salsa, they would be great for that. The flavor's good on them. Some of these I've left on for quite a while, so they'll probably have some heat to them. There's a lot. There's probably 40, 50 jalapenos on here. It probably would have been pretty cool to use like the bell peppers or the jalapenos in a flower arrangement. I didn't even think about that, but next year. Too late now. Okay, I am going to make sure I check the ground really well because I do have puppy dogs and I don't want them getting hold of a jalapeno. Okay, super happy. These are the early girl jalapenos. These are the fire away hot and heavy peppers from Proven Winners, and these are the mini bell peppers. They look gorgeous. Okay, let's go take care of the cucumbers. Okay, over here are my cucumbers, and they have long since stopped producing. They still have, I guess, a few in here, but it's just time to let them go. They're starting to rot. And so sometimes I leave my vines up, sometimes I don't. Right now I'm really wanting my garden to just feel really good and feel attractive and such. And so when that happens, that's typically when I will start really trimming things back when they need to be trimmed instead of watching them rot. I didn't get a ton of cucumbers this year for the same reasons I was talking about the peppers earlier on. We just went from cold to hot really fast. And that was not a good, situation for something like cucumbers. And I did get some, and I pickled some, which was nice. I did a garlic spicy pickle this year. Everybody seemed to really like. Might try that again next year. We'll see. Some of the cucumbers have been on so long they've turned orange. I've got a few up here. Okay, and you can see the lantana did beautifully back here. I mean, this is all one plant. This is purple trailing lantana. This is one little bitty 4-inch plant. It's pretty glorious. Looks like I do have my clematis that I started growing from root. It's up here. Just work that around. Clean this up a little bit. Looks good. And once again, this is one lantana plant right here. It's glorious. If you haven't planted a lantana in our area or a trailing purple lantana, I mean, this is beautiful. I'll see if I have some footage of when it was little. Okay, so let's talk about iris rhizomes. So I recently made an order purchased through Shriner's Iris Gardens, and I received 4 different iris rhizomes. Best time to plant them is July, August, and September. I'm a little late, but we're going to get them in anyway. It is what it is. I've been waiting to get this bed further along before I actually got out here and to take care of business. Now, the key thing with iris rhizomes is you don't want to bury like all the way up here. You want part of the rhizome to actually be sitting up above the ground. So you see right here, and you can see where this part comes up and where a new plant wants to start. So you want the soil level to come right about there. If you cover it up, it is going to rot out and or it's not going to produce flowers. So you definitely want to keep the soil level down. It does best in well-draining soils. It needs at least, 4 hours a day, half a day of sun. My area is going to get full sun, and they do well in full sun. And then their roots are actually going to be shaded by other plants around them. So that's kind of an ideal situation, which is really nice. They're going to need, a fair amount of water, but these are actually pretty drought tolerant once they're all established. So that's pretty exciting. You want to make sure that, like I said, really important that your soil drains well. So that's important. These are actually going to be planted on a little bit of a slope, which is nice, so the water will drain away from them, which I love that as well. But these are new for me, so I don't do a lot of iris. I prefer Dutch iris. These are all bearded iris. And so, but let's get a few of these planted, and they're going to be tucked in among this garden so that throughout the season they just kind of pop up, and then when they're ready, I'll cut them all the way down after they're finished blooming, and you won't even see them. So I want them to be almost like little hidden surprises throughout this side garden. So let's get started. Now, I have recently applied a lot of compost this area, so I'm not really worried about amending any of this particular area right now. I am going to leave the tags on here. They are waterproof. And then basically I want to have this standing straight up like this. All right. And then what I want to do is I just want to bring the soil up around it. Make sure I get deep enough. All right. So right about there, and then I'm going to use the dirt and I'm going to backfill around it. Now, I am not counting the mulch as part of what I'm using to cover up the rhizome. So basically I'm checking for the dirt level first, then I'm coming back through with the mulch around it. Just like that, super simple. This is already pretty moist. I might give it a little bit of water, but not much. All right, so let's do this one over here. Same situation again. I'm going to pull back the mulch, and then I'm going to pull back some of the soil. And I'm going to might have to go a little bit deeper with this hole. since the roots are kind of already longer, or the rhizome is. A little bit of a pull up. All right. It's another thing. If you feel it's too deep, you can get a little bit of a pull upwards. All right. And then I'm going to backfill a little bit with my mulch. All right. 2 more. Pull back my mulch. Loosen up the soil. Start working the soil back in around the rhizome. Give it a little pull to make sure I keep it upwards, right? All right, there you go. And 1 more. I'm going to tuck this guy right back in here. So pull my mulch back. Put my rhizome in. Backfill it back with the soil, making sure the rhizome is partially above ground, and then put the mulch back around it. Okay, you do want to water these in. I'm not trying to get it down like into the actual parts of the bulb. I'm just going to water around it. Basically, the water is just going to kick the roots in gear. They're dormant right now because they're not wet or anything. Something's getting me. There we go. So I'm just going to work the water around, and every couple of days I'll come over here and give them just a little bit of water. Once established, iris really don't need that much water. So there's 2. And at the end of the video, I'll post the pictures of the iris that I'm growing, just so you can kind of get an idea. But the main colors are peaches, kind of coral tones, lavenders, a little bit of magenta, which I think will be beautiful in this garden. This garden is an array of colors. I didn't try to stick to any like real specific color scheme. I just try to pick things that I love. Nothing's going to be all in, the whole garden's not going to be in season at the same time, right? So you're not going to have all the colors together at the same time. But I'm excited. I'm excited to get these in and get these taken care of. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Kind of a random mix of things, getting some of the bearded iris rhizomes planted, harvesting 3 kinds of peppers, and cleaning up the cucumber vines. As always, she's a mad gardener or a decorator or anything else that she wants to be. Thanks, y'all.